I made a video previously on why reading self help books is not the same as reading a novel. I think I didn't really make myself clear the last time. So, this time I'd like to take some time to explain what is happening when we are reading a novel and what's happening when we are reading a self help book so that we understand the difference. Novels, when they're written, try and place the reader in this fantasy world. If the novel is written from a first person perspective, then the writer is trying to put you in the shoes of the protagonist and have an experience from there. If the novel is written in third person, then the writer would like you to be a fly on the wall and observe what is happening. As the story in a novel unfolds, you become more curious to know what is happening. And when you reach the end of a novel, that's where all the excitement is over. Because the whole reason a novel has you hooked onto it is you want to know what is happening next. The anticipation of what is going to unfold in the upcoming chapters is precisely why you really want to get to the next page and why you want to continue reading it. Not fiction, self help is not designed to be read as a novel, but we were not taught this when we were children. When we were children, we were taught that books are always meant to be read cover to cover. Now, once you're done reading a book like this, the magic of thinking big. Let's say you start today and you finish it in a week. You may think that you have finished reading the book. But here's the problem. With a self help book, the goal is not to reach the end. Reading this book cover to cover is going to be absolutely useless for me. And here's why. The purpose of this book, unlike a novel, is not to be entertained. A novel is here to entertain you. When you read a novel, you want to flip every page to know what is happening next as the story unfolds. But you don't buy a self help book with the purpose of being entertained. So when you read this book cover to cover, it actually does absolutely nothing for you. The purpose of buying books like these is to see how the lessons within this can transform your life. The person who wrote the self help book has most likely written it so that using the advice present in it, you're able to implement certain actions and behaviors in yourself that will change your destiny. But because this aspect is not taught to us, all of us end up reading these books cover to cover, and then we wonder why nothing has really changed. You're meant to hold on to these books as long as it takes to ingrain the lessons here. Which is why it can be a very bad idea to purchase multiple self help books. Now, with this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, there are some parts of this book that I have underlined, and I will have to keep going back to these parts until and unless they are fully implemented. So, if there is something that the author talks about in this book, I need to underline it, and only when I have fully integrated that in my life can that part be relegated to my unconscious. Until and unless I do not do this, I have essentially not read the book. The difference between reading a novel and a self help is this: the purpose of purchasing a self help book is to integrate the lessons in your life. But for some reason or the other, no teacher, no parent has ever taught you this. Perhaps they've stacked their own homes with multiple books like this, and life hasn't changed. And this is exactly why it's not changed. So next time you buy a book like this, don't stack your shelf, because this is not a novel. This is something to integrate within yourself, and only when you have learned the most important lessons from a book like this can you part with it and you can give this book away, because then the teachings have ingrained themselves in you and they've become a part of you. So, before going on a spree of buying book after book like this, remind yourself that the goal here is to integrate what the author taught you through those pages, and once that has been fully integrated in you, you are in a position to make the next purchase. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.